Hey guys, welcome back. This is Dave from mygunvalues.com. Today we're going to start a series where we're going to do some comparison shopping, if you will. And I'm going to try to do the shopping for you so you can see the differences and, you know, when hunting or shooting in your particular area. So before you see a model 1895 Winchester. It's actually chambered in 30-03. Get to that in a minute. We have a Remington 740 Woodsmaster semi-automatic. We have a Smith & Wesson 1500, which is the Howa 1500 bolt action rifle. We have a Remington 760 Game Master, which is the pump action. And we have a 1903 A3 Remington World War II rifle. One thing that all these have in common is they will all shoot. Probably the most common round in the United States over the last century, and definitely in the top 2 or 3 even today, the 30-06. So let me explain to you what we're going to do. I'm going to do a short review of each rifle, probably in this video. Just real quick, down and dirty, nothing in depth. And then we're going to shoot each one, and we're going to discuss the various reasons you might choose each action type, primarily for hunting, and the differences different people have talked to me about over the years and the ones I have found over the years. Some of these have old hard plastic or steel butt plates, and since I'm going to be doing most of this shooting over a 2-day period here, I've got a Limb Saver recoil pad for those. You know, it's one thing to shoot 20 or 30 or 40 30-06 cartridges in a day. It's another thing to shoot 100 or 150. We're going to be shooting, these are all my hand loads, but there's nothing super fantastic. They're 56 grains of IMR 4831, which is pretty much a starting load for the 30-06. And Hornady 165 grain interlock soft point bullets. The reason is everything has to stay the same for the tests I'm going to run to be accurate. Real quick, the basic gist is here, we've heard for my entire lifetime bolt actions are the most accurate. And to a certain extent that's true, but there's other things in accuracy other than, you know, the bolt gun, you know, being able to lay over a rest and take a good steady shot. Sometimes if you're still hunting, moving through the brush, you don't have a rest. You gotta, you know, and hey, let's face facts, we all miss. So you have to be able to get that second shot off. And there's something to be said for how inherent the rifle is at aiming, you know, at pointing towards the target. I grew up shooting from the time I was very, very young, but I was open sights. I didn't have a rifle with a scope on it, as a matter of fact, until after my grandfather died, I inherited this one. So I didn't use scopes growing up, so therefore it's hard for me to track a moving target with a scope. I do much better with a peep sight than I do with a scope. So, real quick, you've seen the 1895 in previous videos. It's a takedown. It is a 30-03, which is the precursor to the 30-06, but 30-06 will still shoot through it. This one's got standard open sights. That's why I'm including it in the test. This is the Remington 740 Woodsmaster, early 1950s vintage. I forget the year. This I inherited from my grandfather, who's gone now. And this is setting one of the parameters of this test. This is a fixed 4-power scope. And therefore, we're going to stick with this adjustable scope on this one's going to be set at 4 power, and this is also a fixed 4-power scope. So everything's going to be on 4 power to do the shooting, just to keep everything equal. This is a semi-automatic 30-06 4-round detachable box magazine. You've heard me mention this rifle in other videos before. I don't shoot it a lot because it was Granddad's. You know, some guns choose you rather than you choosing them, and this is one of those. This gun will never be altered. Nothing will ever happen to this gun as long as it's in my family. This gun will stay the way it is, stay original as when we got it from Granddad. This rifle here, I must admit, this was my first bolt action gun that I bought when I really got serious about getting back into shooting in my late 20s. You know, when you're a youngster, sometimes you take a break and do other things. I bought this used. I did not pay much money for it. In fact, I paid more for the scope than I did for the rifle. This gun has been used to take, it took a 6x6 Roosevelt Elk. This gun, we will be, how do I want to word this? This gun, I'm not going to monkey with the scope settings because I have a load that this gun shoots well. It actually shoots 180 grain Nosler ballistic tips and 180 grain Barnes triple shocks to the same point of aim. This one I'll be doing a little Kentucky windage on to get it shooting where I want it with this load, but that's fine. The Remington 760 pump uses the same magazine as the 740 semi-automatic. Pump rifles inherently are usually the quickest to get off a second shot with, other than semi-automatics, because the recoil has you naturally bringing your hand back. This gun I actually bought just for the specific this test, just doing it. And then you've seen the 03A3 in previous videos. I'm going to include this strictly because it's got a peep sight on it. It is another bolt action rifle, but like I said, it's peep sighted. And the idea here is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sight each one in, and we'll probably show snippets of that. I will video it, but we're not going to probably bore you with the whole sighting and procedure for all 5 guns. And we'll sight all 5 in, and then what I'm going to do is, those of you who've seen videos here at my home range, it is finally dry enough to shoot at. I've got the 9x17 inch white gong out there. That's to simulate the vital area of a deer or an elk. And when you're in the woods, you don't necessarily have the ability to shoot, you know, to take a rest. Sometimes you got to take offhand shots. And the biggest thing with that is, which one of these guns shoots best offhand? And we're gonna, you know, I have not done this test. In fact, let's see, I haven't fired this gun at all yet, and I haven't fired any of these with this load. Now, you could take your time, you could dial different loads in for different guns. Problem with that is, then you're changing the, you know, the specifics of the test. I want everything to be the same. And again, we're just going to sight them in, and then we're gonna shoot each one, probably a 3-shot group. We're going to see how we do hitting that gong out there, offhand standing. We're not going to do a take a rest at that point. You know, and I will weigh each gun and give you trigger pulls and that as we move along. For those of you who's never done it, I'll go ahead and show you. It's very, very simple. The Limb Saver recoiled pads, and yes, you can get Pacmars, Pacmare, however they want to pronounce it. I've heard different things. But these are pretty simple little items. You just slip them on over the buttstock. A couple of my shooting friends do not like these because as they get older, they get sticky. They do add something to the length of pull, so if you're a shorter shooter, these might not be the way to go. But again, I'm probably going to be burning through between 100 and 150 rounds, depending on how sight-in goes, over the course of 2 days here. And while 30-06 is certainly not a a bad cartridge to shoot, 100 to 150 of them over the course of 2 days can get tiring, especially shooting from the bench. If you're standing up, your body can react better, it can rock back. You don't have as much felt recoil as you do when you're sitting at a bench. So I just want to keep the recoil level down, you know, because it is cumulative. You shoot a lot better when your body's not tired from all the recoil, so I want everything to be the same. So with that being said, I don't think I'm missing anything. We're going to go ahead and get the cameras flipped around, get the targets set up, and we'll be back with you. And again, we'll show you some of the shooting on the sighting in. I don't think we're going to show all of it because it's going to be it's going to get a little boring just to watch me punching holes in paper. So with that note, thanks for watching. We're going to cut this video off here, and we'll be back with the shooting videos, and we'll see what we can do with these. Thanks for watching.